I just gotta get the motherfucking.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? We got a roundtable tonight. We're going to be talking about predictions for Elimination Chamber 2024. By the way, this premier bedroom streamer, hello. And we got a bunch of guests. Puncho is also streaming too. Say hello, Puncho.
Hey, what up, everybody? Just out here
We
chilling.
got Sir Joseph Pesci in the building.
Hello, hello, hello.
We got JR Thunder. Say hello.
G'day, mate.
And we have the legendary
Happy.
Jay Walks.
Just putting my groceries away. Give me a couple minutes. You guys do your thing.
Gotcha. All right, so we got the match card. We're going to go through the matches. We're going to talk, opinions, things like that. By the way, guys, we shit on wrestling a lot of times, no matter what it is. We give our own opinions. We say what we need to say about wrestling. We're completely unbiased on on all shows. We say it like it is. If you don't like it, there's the door. We're savages.
We don't shit like this. No. Not like Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
we don't shit like that.
There you go. So it's on Peacock, 2:30 or 2 in the morning for the West Coast, 5 in the East Coast. We got
Central.
And Pacho, say that one more time.
4 in Central. 4 Central.
4 Central time.
4 a.m. Central. Saturday morning.
We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 matches. We have 2 Elimination Chamber matches. We got the Judgment Day versus Catch Republic. That's the new name for Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, by the way. That's announced. And then we have Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. We're going to start with the first match of the night. Predictions. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship. You guys have the floor.
Well, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead, I'll punch. Jay Walks is on camera. Look, there he goes.
No, what I was going to say about that was it's obvious who's going to win this one because, everybody wants to see Rhea versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 40. That's like the dream match. So I can't see Nia winning this at all. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree the same. I think obviously the way wrestling works, and it's just how wrestling works. Champion like Rhea has to have the belt to WrestleMania. It wouldn't make no sense for her to lose it, unless they're swerving us all and having her win it back at Wrestle. I doubt. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say she's in Australia. She wins in front of her home crowd. Vince is not there. Usually Vince will have wrestlers lose against their home crowd. He's done it before. So I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley over Nia Jax.
Bless.
There you go. You can go now, Jay Walks, if you want.
Yeah, it's bless somebody. Who sneezed? Bless you. Mr. Atheist. I agree with you guys. I actually think that them speaking about Nia Jax being from Australia was putting a blip in the radar. So it's possible they give it to her just because The Rock is involved. We'll see. If she wins it by chance, The Rock's opponent's weight around. That's the only difference I have. How's my hair looking, by the way?
Good.
Looking good.
Fuck you, Ron.
Do you want to go, Jay over me?
Yeah. I think Rhea will win, but I'm saying Nia Jax will botch her and hurt her, and she'll be out for a few months. She'll probably miss WrestleMania because Nia Jax will probably drop her on her head or drop her on her ass, and she'll be hurt. But yeah, I can't see Ripley not losing. In Australia, that's just if it was in any other country, I might think Jax might win, but Rhea ain't losing in Australia.
I'm gonna
Jax
go
will
with
hurt her and
go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Jax will hurt her. She'll fuck her up and she'll be out for a while. So that's my pick.
God, you guys are making it tough. I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley, and I'm gonna go a hard Rhea Ripley here because the reason for it is Rhea Ripley will win this, and also too, if they have it the other way around, Nia Jax could win it as a shock factor. I was going to go more Nia Jax, but I think they're going to go with Rhea Ripley as a safe pick. And it'll be probably the man versus, Rhea Ripley at, WrestleMania, which I don't want. I wish it was anybody else but, the man. But it looks like that's what they're going for. So I got Rhea Ripley winning this match. It'll be an excellent match. I think it'll go a good about 20 minutes. I think you'll see Nia Jax kick out of a couple finishers. I think it'll take a mega Riptide for that to be a 1, 2, 3. Or Triple H could do the opposite and show us it's all about Nia Jax.
I expect something like a big ass move that they're gonna do. Maybe like a super suplex off the top rope onto a table or some shit. Like to give the crowd a little bit of make Rhea stronger for WrestleMania.
Right. Well, I can also see some fuckery happening too with the referee. I could see something happening with that too.
How do you spell fuckery?
Fuckery?
How do you spell it?
I don't know. I speak Revenese,
Savage.
So we got Rhea Ripley winning this match. Most of us here. No Nia Jax? None?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaywalks. He picked.
I do like Nia Jax, though. I do like the booking they've done with her, and I'm pretty impressed.
Somebody on another promotion needs to take notes on how you book a women's division. Yeah, I think we can all agree with that one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, didn't AEW book 2 ladies matches back to back the other night?
Yeah.
And one of them was real bad. They're still talking how bad that Deanna Perez match was. I guess it was awful.
So we go into the tag team match after that. We got the Judgment Day versus New Catch Republic, which was supposed to be called England Strong Style. Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate versus the Judgment Day. Where do you guys think they're going with this one?
I think with Rhea Ripley being I'll go first real quick. I think with Rhea Ripley being focused in Australia, I think they want Judgment Day as hot as possible. Going into Mania, I'm going to say Judgment Day wins this without a doubt.
I'll go second.
Personally, with I thought we were going to rotate backwards like we were doing poker. I have to agree with Tessie, just because Rhea Ripley's part of Judgment Day. I wouldn't be shocked if they do the same thing that they do with Nia Jax. Do a shock thing only because those guys are from, where are they from? London, it's a different country, right? Have supporters over there. I can see something happening. Because you're going to see Bate and Dunne win the belts eventually, and then feud with each other. So, I don't know. I think Pesci's right. Go with Pesci.
I guess I'll go next. I'm gonna go for the shock factor. I'm gonna go for. I know they're gonna probably put it on, but I'm gonna go for New Catch Republic. I think it's Pete Dunne's time. I think they need to do something with him.
Who's the other guy in this group? I never heard of this.
Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate.
They did some great matches together.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know who that is.
That's a great match, right, Rev? Is that two of them together?
In NXT UK, yeah. Their NXT UK stuff, yeah. They kicked off the first ever NXT UK with Tyler Bate winning the NXT UK Championship. And then Tyler Bate and fucking Pete Dunne had like an episodic fucking match after match between each other in NXT UK. It was great stuff. Good stuff back then. Shout out to NXT UK. Sad that they are gone and NXT Europe's coming eventually. Don't know when.
I'll go next. I think the Czech Republic, or if that's their name, the Czech Republic, I think they're going to do it. But I'm thinking
it's a country, but
well, what's that team's name?
New Catch Republic.
The Banana Republic.
New Catch
Banana
Republic. My bad. No, I'm thinking.
Ask WWE why their names are that way too. Like, let's just speak about their names being hokey pokey. Okay.
Yeah, for real. But I think they're going to win, and I think our truth will be the reason why.
Ooh.
That they'll win. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that. I didn't
And
even think of that. I like that.
I think
Okay.
that R2's gonna have something to do, plant some seeds for Mania that's gonna involve him.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I'm hoping that'll be doing something with that. You know, he's gonna cause them to lose the belts there, and then it's gonna be like a setup for a bigger picture later at Mania with R-Truth and them.
Interesting. Okay. I feel this. I feel what you're saying, and I can also
Yeah.
see our truth going into the our following that. I could see our truth going into the Andre Battle Royale during the. Well, didn't they do that on SmackDown last year?
Yeah,
Before,
I don't think it's on Mania no more.
so I could see some fuckery happening there with you know, our truth with the Judgment Day, or I could see maybe a priest and a judge and an our truth match. I could see that. For Mania being like the beginning of WrestleMania, like a throwaway match at the very beginning, or a pre-show match. You can see that.
Well, I don't know because that story's pretty big, and I don't think you wanted to use that as a throwaway match. You know, with him and the Judgment Day, with Truth and the Judgment Day. I don't think you want to just throw that shit away. Just you know.
Well, you're gonna have a stacked. You're gonna have a stacked lineup of matches with.
Right, but that would have been like throwing away that match with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. You know, to set up that Cody feud.
True.
Like,
We'll see what WWE's thinking after Elimination Chamber, but I think the R-Truth stuff that they're gonna pencil it in somewhere. They have to. I just don't want to see it on a SmackDown. That's the thing. But I could see them doing an Andre Battle Royale just for that reason, with him and Priest at each other on a SmackDown, which I think is kind of dumb if they do that way.
aren't they on Raw though?
Well, they've been doing the whole crossover thing lately with SmackDown and Raw recently, with Judgment Day kind of being over on SmackDown doing the elimination matches, and then you have the Bloodline kind of moving between shows. And then you have the Good Brothers, which we don't even know where the Good Brothers are going between all this, with AJ Styles. And the Good Brothers just debuted on NXT. So it just makes me kind of just roll my eyes what they're doing with the OC at this point. So
Guess last one, Jimmy Thunder.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Everything that Pesci said, I'll be quick.
Okay.
wow. There we go. Legendary. Let's go. That was quick, to the point, legendary. Then we get right into the Elimination Chamber on the men's side. What do we got on the men's side? Let's see here. Hold on.
Elimination Chamber men.
On the men's, yeah.
Tell
we got
everybody who's in it real quick.
Got you. I got some ads. Hold on the match card. So we have on the men's side, we have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight. You know, because LA Knight. And then we got versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul.
I'm going to tell you who I think's going to win it, and I'm going to tell you who I wish was going to win. Wait, say the lineup one more time.
Okay, so we have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus KO versus Logan Paul.
I wish LA Knight would win, but I think they're going to have Drew win. And I think it's because the CM Punk getting hurt changed a lot of plans. Drew's heel run has been pretty good. And if the winner of this is going to face Seth, I think Drew McIntyre would be a perfect guy to beat Seth. I would like it to be Knight, but I think they're going to go with Drew. And, you know, I wish they would have had Brunson Reed again in this match this year, and they didn't. And that's my...
I guess Brunson Reed's his wife is pregnant, right? Is that what I heard? Wife's pregnant?
Yeah, something
Any day now? any day now. That's why he came part of it.
Yeah.
One more time.
Bronson Reed's wife's pregnant, so she's due any day now. Apparently, that's my
Gotcha.
sources. My newsletter that came in from Savage Sauce.
I'm gonna follow Pesci on this one. I think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre because that's the logical pick, honestly, because it makes sense. You got to keep Drew McIntyre, happy with re-signing with WWE because his contract ends, after Mania. So is he gonna re-sign or not? You give him the belt off of Seth. I think that's smart. You please him, get him to re-sign that way, give him a good storyline for the next couple of months.
And Seth's had it for some time. I mean, it's not like he hasn't had it.
Well, there's articles coming out that Seth is hurt. And is going to need 6 months on the shelf for knee surgery, and he said he's also taking a hiatus from WWE, kind of like what John Moxley did back then. So
Yeah.
before he made a decision to signing with AEW, so Seth is going to be literally sticking with WWE. That's just a foregone conclusion. But him needing a break, it's
just take classes, take charge.
Shit.
him needing a break is great. So I think Drew McIntyre, if you want to put a flag bearer behind it, as your second, champion, you could do so. Is it going to be a big title? No, not really. According to WWE and Roman Reigns, not really. But my dark horse pick here, if I had to pick a second pick, dark horse wise, would be LA Knight.
Is this who you'd like to have win it?
No, Drew McIntyre is my winner, but my dark horse pick would be LA Knight. I wouldn't be mad if they went that way of LA Knight. He's so over.
That's what I'm saying. That's who I wish.
You wish? Yeah, I'm with you on everything you said. Drew McIntyre just seems to be the logical pick because they got to please him for contract year.
Right.
I read somewhere that Sheamus is signed with AEW. Can you confirm or deny you've heard anything about that, or?
I'm going to say only because I listen to a lot of Meltzer that.
The last time I heard on anything like that, to be honest with you, was reading a little bit of Sean Ross Sapp's report, but their WWE was talking about possibly tacking on injury time to his contract. Because Sheamus is coming off of dramatic, was it shoulder surgery or was it neck surgery? If I remember right. Because I know Bobby Roode just retired. I do know he announced on...
wow.
Yeah, he's got a job as an agent there. He's got a job.
They say he's cleared though. But he's
as an
fine
agent.
as a producer.
Yeah, he's a producer. Sorry.
Well, he
It's
gets to...
unfortunate. I thought he had one of the coolest.
I thought the same shit.
He had a good entrance in NXT, right? It was good at NXT. It was fizzled at
I thought he had great entrance.
I blame a little bit of Vince McMahon regime on that one. He kind of cooled off with the whole Glorious thing. I think everybody was doing Glorious at one point.
And they kept putting him. Yeah, they kept putting him in tag team that he shouldn't have been in. And I thought it cooled him down. He was in a tag team with Dolph.
They really cooled him down, and then they made him like a Ric Flair-esque when he came out, and I was like, this doesn't work for this guy, or like a Rick, thing like that, and they have him come out like that and act, there's only one Ric Flair you can do. You can't emulate that,
His best work in TNA was a heel, in my opinion.
He was fantastic
when he was feuding with, all those top guys they had there at the time. Don't know why they put him as a face. Oh yeah.
J-Walks, what do you think? What do you think of the men's match? You got Drew?
Drew.
What do you got, Puncho?
I mean, Drew. I gotta go with Drew because I'm digging his heel persona.
Now we got the middle of the road. Thunder, you went with. Did you go with Drew, or did you go?
I say Drew, but I wish they put on Logan Paul and then put him in a feud with AJ Styles before AJ gets too old to, do that. He can't do half of his stuff he can do. So it'll be Drew, but I wish they'd give it to Logan Paul and put him in a feud with AJ Styles before it's too late.
You and a
The reason why Logan
fellow
Paul's not going to win. And,
you and a fellow
Sorry, go ahead, man.
PWO member, Barkley, averaging down is high on Logan Paul right now. High on Logan Paul
he's
being
great.
champ.
He's amazing. Yeah,
I can see. I want to see. I want to see Logan Paul hold some mid card titles for a while. Maybe they could feud over the United States belt. Maybe AJ Styles, because AJ Styles looks like he's breaking off from the OC, but it makes no sense how they're doing that.
Yeah, it looks kind of silly the way they're going about it.
And then they put the OC on NXT and they go after Chase University, and I'm like, what? I'm confused. What are we doing with these two dudes? You know, they're going to come after the NXT belts now. That's the whole thing, against Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. So if you haven't been watching NXT, Baron Corbin and...
I was surprised with Braun getting... he did so well at Royal Rumble that they're not putting him in a singles. He doesn't need to be with Baron Corbin. I don't understand.
They're NXT champions.
That shit got over. That's what happened real quick. He's on SmackDown anyways, right? What do you think? He's on somewhere. I forgot. Google up somewhere.
He signed with SmackDown, so as at the whatever kayfabe free agency, whatever, and then on NXT they're tag team champions with Baron Corbin. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah, they won the Dusty Rhodes Classic or whatever, and then they became champion.
I don't think they should be tagged. I just say.
No, I feel the same way as you, Pesci, when it comes to Carmelo Hayes. Like, I don't know why they're putting this man in with Dragunov, and they're doing a triple threat at Roadblock, and I don't understand it, because Carmelo Hayes should be on the main roster at this point. Not, he, like, had matches on the main roster, and then all of a sudden we're putting him back in NXT.
And Trick Williams.
They're high up on Trick Williams. WWE is, so can't blame them. Trick Williams is over right now over in NXT-ville. But anyway, moving on, we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber halfway point. We got Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, appearing on the Grayson Waller Effect at Elimination Chamber. What do you guys think?
Oh, I thought you were about to say they were in a...
No. They're in a whatever a segment. It's kind of like a Talk is Jericho type segment or whatever they used to do.
Well, I mean, there's not much to think about. I'm surprised that these guys are not wrestling on one of the biggest pay-per-views.
Well, you don't want Rollins to get his knee snapped even worse. You want to save him for Mania. I
understand Rollins because of his injury. But I would have liked Cody to be in some kind of match. He just lost on Monday Night Raw because of Solo. And so maybe, do something.
I think you're going to see some fuckery here. I think you see The Rock and Roman show up. I really think.
That might be cool. Yeah,
I believe they're going to show up.
I'll take it if that happens.
Because you don't have enough matches here. You have 1, 2, 3, that segment, and then you have another match. And it's like they got to fill something in for a good 30 minutes, right? So I'm assuming The Rock and Roman are going to show up. They're going to, pull a table off and basically blow the roof off the building, and they're going to stare at each other. And then this is where we're going to get our tag team match for night 1. So does that you guys feel that they're going to do double duty for night 2 with Seth and Drew McIntyre if they go that way?
Yeah, they all are, aren't they? I guess they're all going to be doing double duty except for Seth.
Well, Seth is going to be doing 2 matches. What it looks like, he's going to do the World Heavyweight match as the second main event, and then he's doing a tag team match with Roman. So that's crazy.
So I meant the Rock.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. They're going to have Seth Rollins possibly hurt himself even worse out of all this if he takes bumps. I think Seth Rollins is going to get squashed at Mania for the title. I really think that if that's what they're going to do, just to be safe with him so he doesn't get more hurt. I think that's the best way you do it.
He can retire?
One more time? One more time?
No, go ahead, Jay Wax.
Go ahead, Jay Wax.
I was good. It wasn't me, man.
Well, they got.
Do you think Seth will retire? Do you think he'll be due to retire soon? Do you think is he injured that bad?
Well, he has meniscus tear, so that's a 6-month injury with surgery.
Yeah, that's 6 months plus. Like that's a.
And Seth
It's a
also
bad
said he
injury.
wants to take a hiatus from WWE for a while for mental reasons. So tells me that if WWE wants to play it safe between these two matches, they have Cody take most of the blunt of the work, and they have Seth be protected. That's what you would want to do in that case. I mean, if you have Seth take a bump, it has to be a light bump. I don't know how WWE is going to play that. They kind of pigeonholed themselves in because they have to make that second title look prestigious still. Even after Roman shot shit all over it, It's very hard. It's very hard to, they're trying to make that title prestigious, but, you have your main card title being, your champion shitting all over it. And WWE not really kind of coming out the gates and really kind of saying that title is worth the damn. They're not really saying it's worth the damn.
Right.
I mean, hopefully after Mania they kind of do with Drew McIntyre, whoever wins it, But they got to protect Seth here, and I think Seth, tag team match makes sense to me because they have to have the Rock's got to have his moment at a main event. You know what I mean? He's got to get his big payday from TKO, so that's the way they're doing it.
How's Seth gonna wrestle twice 2 times? Then I don't understand. He's hurt. How's he gonna wrestle twice?
That's beyond me, J-Walks. Like, I don't know WWE's thinking on that. Maybe they have him not take many bumps, and they have Cody do all the work. I mean,
And they get squashed the second day.
And then he gets squashed the second J from like a Drew McIntyre. I really thought they were going to do Gunther. I thought maybe they would have Gunther lose to Jey Uso. I was really feeling that. And then have brother versus brother for the title and make that interesting.
That would work.
And put a really good long-term booking behind it. But they went the way of Gunther. Then it tells me who's going to be Gunther's opponent, though. It just makes no sense.
They said that last year, though. They were in the interview together. They said, what do y'all want to do? Well, our dream match is to go against each other at WrestleMania.
Well, they're going for that. I don't think
you need the belt to make it. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, I don't think you need the belt to make it more than what it already is. Including the belt is not going to make it more of a watchable match than what it already is, what I'm saying. Will make a difference in that match.
Well, then who goes against Gunther, though, at the end of the day? Who do you think goes against Gunther? Because there is no Intercontinental belt here being defended. There's no Gunther here.
Same thing.
Hey, that's what you call big man slapping man meat. Gunther versus Braun Breaker.
You're gonna go? Okay, I'm with that. You really think they're gonna give
it
him
was
the
supposed
Brock
to be.
Lesnar
It was
spot?
supposed to be Brock.
wish.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Brock
Right.
Lesnar.
I agree. I mean, I wish that would be sweet.
So do you have
big man slapping man meat?
So do you
Never
have
thought of
Gunther?
that.
Do you have these two guys lose at Roadblock then, and Baron Corbin? You have them lose at so he can start doing main roster shit.
I thought he was already. Didn't he sign already?
Well,
Or is he
he's
still
he's doing double duties right now because he's tag team
okay, yeah.
champions over on the other side, which I think is kind of stupid.
He kept hinting
Yeah, he
that
got
he was
to.
signing the SmackDown, I thought.
My thing is he's going to have to give up those belts so he could come to the main roster, kind of like Tiffany Stratton did, or like what Naomi did when she came back. Everybody knew she was coming back to WWE after that, especially when she lost the belt to Jordan Grace or whatever her name was.
Right.
You called that Jordan Grace. You're right.
Yeah, I was like, well, if she loses, she's coming back. And Jordan Grace, bro, that bitch. Man, she showed her ass that Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was probably the best one that night. The men was kind of mid, but I really enjoyed the women's Royal Rumble though.
So what do we have? What do we have for the Grayson Waller effect? We have some fuckery happening. Rock Roman showing up because they got to do something because the show looks kind of weak a little bit.
Fuckery. I don't know. Will the Rock be in Australia?
I've seen them that saying they have no intention of being there. The Rock and Roman.
Right.
They put in for the Rock to a couple months ago. Didn't they put in for the Rock to be in Australia? Australia requested him.
I mean, because
that's where it came from.
What point do they even have if Cody's not even on the thing? Is it?
Yeah, it's Cody and Seth Rollins on the Grayson Waller effect.
Oh. Nah, I think Solo will probably, like he did on Raw,
Ah, okay.
interfere.
I could see Solo being there.
I could see Jimmy being there too, and I could see his brother
Yeah.
confronting. I could see his brother, fronting him too. I could see that.
The
You
minions
imagine
are going to like
Australia
do the
wanting to see Roman though, so maybe Roman in some kind of way.
That could be a
Maybe Roman a
possibility.
face to face with Cody tomorrow, or a Seth, or who knows.
Now we do have the main event, and the main event goes to the women. The women's number one contender match for WrestleMania for the Raw Championship. We have Becky Lynch, Naomi, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
What are
the
you guys feeling?
women's main event, Elimination Chamber is the main event.
Yep.
I bet you they change that. I bet you Rhea Ripley goes over main event.
That's how they have it
I
listed.
thought Rhea Ripley was going to be in the main event. Yeah, that's right.
That's how WWE has it
Right?
listed. They have Balor being the first match.
Wow.
Then they have the first men's main event, or the men's elimination chamber. Then they have the Grayson Waller effect, and they have the women's match. Yeah, sorry. Then they have, going by WWE's site, then they have the Nia Jax, and then they have the women's elimination chamber. Sorry. So it'll be Jax first, and then it'll be the women's elimination chamber match.
Well, see, I think Jax might win by disqualification though. But it don't mean shit. I mean, the title is not going to change hands.
Wouldn't it be something if they did as a swerve?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's why would they all of a sudden out of nowhere start saying Nia Jax is born in Australia? And no one, I mean, it's true.
She's not from Australia.
She
She's
was
not from
born there.
Australia. Rhea Ripley's.
And
You
I
sure?
think
Ripley
Cerise's
is.
over there by Jimmy
Yeah,
Clinton.
Michael Cole during one of the segments with Pat McAfee turned around and said, Nia Jax's hometown is fucking Australia. She's from Australia. Yeah.
You sure? I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I know
yeah.
Ripley is, but like they haven't belted it around. I don't.
That's what
And
I'm
I went
saying.
to
Out of
go
nowhere,
I
they
went to
start
go look
talking about
this
it.
up, and I was like, wow, okay.
Maybe she's billed from there.
Probably.
Because apparently she's born there, lived there 7 months or some shit.
Ain't that where Buddy Murphy's from?
Nia Jax
Yeah,
is from
Buddy Murphy's from there.
Nia Jax was born
that's a
and
good
raised
point.
in
Where
Sydney,
is Buddy
Australia.
Murphy from?
Interesting. Okay.
I've never heard that. Like she don't come out with that.
Exactly. It came out of nowhere. They all of a sudden have a pay-per-view there. They start mentioning it. I'm telling you. Fucking Rock's gonna stop fucking being a puppeteer. That Poultry
I had
Springs.
to go look this up. So yeah, she's from Sydney, Australia. Yeah, I didn't know this. This is news to me.
Neither.
Don't question my sources, okay? Don't question my sources.
Well, it's like Kobe. He's
Oh,
from
I'm not
fucking
questioning your
Italy.
sources. I heard from fucking Michael Cole on fucking commentary, and I was
He's
telling
been
you that
boxing
a
involved.
couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Is she from Australia?" And you were like, "Yeah, she is." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
She
What?
might have been
She's
born
Samoan.
there, but yeah, she
Samoan.
might have been born there.
Crazy, wild.
She's Samoan. She's Samoan, eh?
Well, she's part of
Her
the Rock's
nationality.
bloodline, supposedly.
Yeah, so she's Samoan.
She got
Like
hired
Punch.
back.
Punch is part of the bloodline. He's part Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
So who we
Which
got winning
case-
the women's elimination chamber? Who do we got?
Becky.
That's weird. Yeah, Becky.
Pesci?
Because, like I said, they want to see each other over there at Wrestle at Mania 40.
What is Pesci feeling about the women's elimination chamber? Who do you got?
I'm like kind of lost on.
You want me to give you the
Becky
wrestlers
Lynch.
that are in it?
Go again, but I'm gonna go back. Say it one more time.
We got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Naomi, Becky Lynch, the EST Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton.
Becky Lynch.
I'm gonna go dark horse, and then I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Becky Lynch for the win, but I'm gonna go Tiffany Stratton as the dark horse.
No shot in hell.
I'm a Tiffany Stratton fan. I just
Stratton.
don't like her music right now. That the Barbie girl thing, they took it away. That kind of just fucked it up for me.
I
But I'm
mean,
still
she's. They want to have her as Charlotte Flair. I mean, she does the same thing. Neither one of them could do a fucking springboard or whatever the fuck that shit is. 450. Neither one of them can do that shit or connect it right. So she got a little Charlotte Flair in her.
well,
One blonde girl.
Becky
Yeah,
Lynch is gonna have to carry.
Becky. I think they want Becky and Rhea to, I think, eventually collide.
Yeah, that's what the
I know. I would like Raquel Rodriguez. I think Raquel Rodriguez has got the look. I just don't think they're ready for her.
well, she's just coming off injury, legitimate injury.
It wasn't no injury. It's kind of some kind of skin disease or some shit.
Something like that. Bianca, I mean, Bianca, I don't go with because
And Bianca could win it. You never know, but
I don't want to see Bianca in no main event right now.
no, me neither.
I agree.
Liv Morgan's got to finish her story, but she could finish her story anytime.
I want to see Bianca go against goddamn Jade Cargill.
Ooh, that would be a good match at Mania or Kickoff or whatever. How'd you call
And
that?
I'm very worried about Jade if she's not out there yet. What the hell?
Well, WWE's kind of got a stacked roster at the moment of main event talent right now.
No, and that's why they're probably not rushing.
I mean, pretty
she's
much.
Not working. She's not working.
Well, I mean, Jade did show off very well at the Royal Rumble, though. She did sell some things, and she's been on SmackDown a couple of times as segments. So I'm surprised they're not putting her in something on SmackDown to start, get her debut match out the way.
Did she check Stratton the other day?
I believe so.
Oh, she checked Stratton on TV. Jade's smoking.
Oh no, that was Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair slapped the shit out of her for saying that she wasn't in her worthy to be in her the walk, the ground that she walks on, basically. And Bianca went over and slapped her in the face. And then they all brawled.
She smacked Stratton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Tiffany said basically, this is my WWE now, and in your yesterday's news, and fucking Bianca said, I'm making more money than you, and then went over and slapped her ass.
Nice. Bianca's gonna punch her whole ass. I don't like that. I like kicking Hargel's ass better.
There you go.
I just don't. I'm with you, Pesci. I don't know why they don't show. I really don't understand why they don't show Jade Cargill enough. They show her in backstage segments, but she doesn't really talk. Nick Aldis does the talking for her.
Yeah.
Look how we're talking about her right now. She's gonna be attraction.
Well, originally she was supposed to go against Charlotte Flair at Mania, supposedly, but then Charlotte got hurt for botching a move against Asuka. We all know what happened with that one. That's pretty much the matches for Elimination Chamber. I mean,
Bailey so Bailey's already slotted for Mania.
Bailey's gonna be night 1 against Io Sky.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what happened to Damage. That shit.
Well, Damage Control's in the same spot as the Undisputed Kingdom at the moment. Their new leader is going to be Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai's coming off an AC injury.
Dakota Kai's turning on Bailey?
One more time?
Dakota Kai's going to turn on Bailey?
Yeah, that's what it looks like they're going for.
You know where Dakota Kai's from?
Bailey already picked Io, said she wanted to go against her at that.
Yeah, they did, but the thing is, we're talking about the new leader for Damage Control that's going to replace Bailey. That's going to go to Dakota Kai.
Do you know what country she's from, Rev?
Australia?
No.
Or New Zealand?
Yeah. My mate taught her how to wrestle.
There you go.
Oh, you taught Bronson Reed too?
No, Jay White and Dakota Kai. There's a wrestling organization. It's gone defunct. It was in New Zealand called Impact Wrestling New Zealand.
Speaking of talent that's being underutilized, me and Pesci over here have been talking about Jay White being underutilized with those 6-man tag
I'm
champions.
not trying to look. I'm not trying to harp on AEW, but listen to this real quick. So yesterday, they have the Bang Bang Scissor Gang together. It's a 6-man group. When 3 of those guys, the Acclaimed and the Gun Club, they could do their own thing. You put them all together, and it's hard for them to be like what we like about them when they got all 6 of them in a room at the same time because you got to rush their promo to get on to the next man. And it's just kind of like, you know what I mean, Rev Sauce? It's like
Yeah.
they're all in a room. It's like they're waiting to sign somebody's autograph. It's like they're not a part of the show. They're not even in a match right now. There's no point to have 6 belts on them.
So Chris Sims asks all of us in the chat right now in my chat. He says, "So is Drew McIntyre winning this weekend?" We said basically yes, he is.
Yeah.
We got him winning.
But when Jay White came from Japan to AEW, he was wide fucking hot. He was like beating Okada. He won every belt there is to win over there.
He beat Okada?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, twice.
Wow.
Twice. Like he was wide hot, and they should have just ran with that.
The thing was working with him and Juice Williams for a minute. That was kind of
Robinson.
working. And as soon as Punk left that Collision show, the gun shit started dying. And then Acclaimed was always cool by themselves. And now they kind of just are like, they're like a band that tours the country. They just go to every arena. They say the same 3 things every time. They're not changing anything up, and you don't get to see them in any matches. And now there's 6 of them, so they've kind of been watered down, and it pisses me off because AEW, this is how you get a couple thousand fans in your arena instead of having 4,000 or 5,000.
Well, they're kind of taking a page out of New Japan's book, their partner, and they're kind of doing they are doing what they do with Bullet Club. They make it bigger. I agree with you, Pesci, on that. They should be separated or have all 3.
And those belts, you unite them. Like, do you realize that since the Acclaimed have got those belts, I don't think they've ever defended them. What is the point, Tony Khan, of a belt that doesn't get defended? And then you have another trio belt, and you don't even have opponents for them. You need to be breaking these guys up and concentrate back on your tag division. A division that had promise at one time that doesn't have it.
So Chris Sims says, okay. Yeah, we went Drew McIntyre. We think Drew McIntyre is going to be your next world heavyweight champion as far as WrestleMania goes. I think we're gonna see him being squashed, Seth Rollins, because of injury reasons. I think that's what they're gonna go for.
Right.
And then that leads into Drew McIntyre re-signing with WWE, and then you can have that CM Punk feud when he comes back, which would be money to me. That whole feud would be great. If you want to go.
Do you think CM Punk will come back? Like, God, he's injured more than friggin' Julian Edelman.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
Injured through, but
that may be true. He's injury prone, but I think he'll come back and roll ass. I think in WWE, honestly.
You think he'd come back as like a commissioner or like a manager or like a what's it called, a general manager of Raw or SmackDown or something? It just seems like every time he gets in the ring, he gets, he's had it. He's screwed.
I think he'll be back somewhere in the summertime, and I do see Punk possibly doing that. Drew McIntyre is going to hold the belt until possibly, if they have him win.
Joe, wake the fuck up.
Oh my God.
You fucking pig.
Drag him down.
In the other room. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm fighting this boss. Give me 1 second.
You're snoring.
Do it?
I don't have the permission.
I wasn't snoring.
You were
Fuck it, was you.
snoring. we
No, I
wind the
wasn't.
tapes.
Yeah,
No,
you were,
I
bro.
put my headphones down. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
Snoring. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah,
snoring.
totally.
No,
What the
hey,
fuck?
Did everyone? Who
hey,
heard that?
I put my
That's
headphones
some
down and I
Barkley
went to
shit
the
right
other
there,
room.
man.
You
That
remember?
was some
No, cause
Barkley finesse.
Did everyone hear that?
Bro, you're my nizzle.
Let me
But
top
you were
my
for real.
drink off, Revzaz.
Yeah. Bro, you're my nizzle, so I wouldn't lie to you. You were deep. You were deep, okay?
You were deep,
You were
deep into sleep.
It was a savage snoring. I wouldn't lie to you, bro. You took too much melatonin. Admit it, all right?
melatonin.
we
You
were
on
we
that
were we were
melatonin.
talking about AEW. We were talking about the 6-man tags belts being
Oh, that's probably
hokey
why.
pokey.
I started talking.
We
about
all know. We
Yeah,
all
that's
know you
what
don't
I
like
did.
AEW. We all know.
I was just letting y'all know, so I wasn't really asleep. I was just letting y'all know, shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
let J-Walks determine that.
This is we're on who's streaming right now.
I am. And where's your bullshit meter at?
We'll put it back. We'll put it back a little bit. You want to clip me and talk about
You can be a savage. You can be a little savage. Where's your bullshit meter at? With that, is it sky high?
You gotta have that fucking what's his name?
All I heard was
um,
Punch go.
Sorry, my dog's digging up the fucking lawn.
Jesus.
You might have some money in there that was left over from the previous owners.
I wish.
Well, Pesci, they're with speaking to you the way you were saying, they're going for like that Bullet Club large thing that they do in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's why. I agree
Maybe
with
just
you.
split
They
them
should
guys
lose the
up.
belts. Both sides should lose the belts to somebody else that could defend those belts instead of having it all in one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or have Jay White lose those at Ring of Honor event and just give it to somebody else. Honestly, Jay White should be on the main event, fighting for an international belt or a TNT belt or something else. Because your main event title is pretty much locked down at this point. Samoa Joe, and rest in peace, Adam Page. Hopefully, he comes off an injury better because it looks like he twisted his ankle and may be out after a muscle buster on AEW. It looks like he's hurt.
I seen that. He's talking about "Don't shoot me" or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it looks like he rolled back into the back of the apron and looked like he was calling for Doc Samson hardcore after AEW went off the air. Looks like he's
put
hurt.
Jay White in a thing with Jericho.
Jericho's written off TV for now. Yeah, he's not coming back for a while.
Maybe not then.
He's touring with Fozzy.
He's on tour with Fozzy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okeshida and I believe it's Okeshida and Will Ospreay for Revolution.
That's what Ospreay turns face.
Fozzy was supposed to come over here like a couple years ago, but they ended up pulling out because they didn't sell enough tickets.
Can we just say Okeshida looks really good right now? Like he's like jacked and looks ready to go for the main event. And I don't know why they don't.
Looks like a great. You said Takeshita?
Yeah, Takeshita looks really good right now, and it's like, why are we not pushing this man? Why do we have him in this side hustle group? Just make him Don Callis do what they did with Kenny Omega, and just have this guy.
Oh wow, brother!
You know who Kevin
What
Nash
happened to
was
Waters?
supposed to
Waters
go
show.
to that Revolution, but WWE said he couldn't go.
Yeah, and said he couldn't go, and they think it's bullshit for this reason, because when WWE asked Tony Khan to use some of his guys for John Cena's thing, Tony Khan said yes.
Wow. Well, there you go. It's the same with did we not hear John Cena and Randy Orton's comments about Vince McMahon and how they're walking back what they said?
Well, Cena is? I thought Cena said he loves Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he's walking back his comments after getting shit on. Yeah. Same with Randy. Randy's walking back his comments, yeah, after the shit fest. After they said they love Vince McMahon and all this, they're now walking back their shit.
Yeah, it was a shit fest too for real.
That sucks.
I mean, I get why they're doing what they're doing. I totally get it, but it's the wrong. Let the dust settle. You're doing it in the middle of fucking controversy right now.
Well, they're in a tight situation because they're trying to do all this shit, and that shit's next week. Or yeah, it's next week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I get why WWE is trying to distance themselves. They've erased how many wrestlers now out of history now? Brock Lesnar and a couple others, I believe. Velveteen Dream got erased. I know that for a fact.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, Velveteen Dream, they don't want anything to do with him. Not after what happened with the Vince McMahon situation. And this other wrestling promotion that brought him in is eating shit right now because of it.
yeah, but I thought
Yeah,
they
he
cleared him.
made a great heartfelt speech, and that's pretty honest what he talked about. It just happened to coincide with Vince McMahon getting fucked, so it's fucked him.
What was that, Pancho?
No, I was saying I thought they were cleared. I thought he cleared them, or that they found out that he didn't do none of that shit. He was found not guilty.
Part of it he was, not all of it.
Mm.
Recording people in bathrooms and fucking burglarizing people's houses for drugs. No, that he wasn't. He paid a hefty fine for that. And EC3 have already proven that man, was recording people with cameras, which he apologized to EC3 that long speech that he apologized to Triple H and went on and on
I
and
know
on.
he apologized to EC3 in that.
Yeah, he apologized on Twitter and stuff, saying I did wrong. I, shouldn't have done what I've done. I was, high on certain things. Yeah, he was on Chris Van Fleet or one of them. Went into depth about shit, what he shouldn't have done. And then some New York promotion brought him in.
What's this shit about John Cena on Twitter? He's like trending right now.
John Cena basically
because he said he loves Vince. I think.
Wow.
He said he loves Vince no matter what or whatever.
Yeah, he said he loves Vince no matter what he does, or he was just talking. He basically got taken out of context. Basically said, "I love Vince."
Shit.
I basically love Vince McMahon for the business aspect and things like that, and then it got taken out of aspect that he said he loves everything Vince McMahon does.
I wonder what John Cena Senior will have to say about that.
At his house.
John Cena Senior.
John Cena.
This was a good. This was a good preview show. I think we did.
Also, one other news thing, since we're still going, The Rock's doing he's being a producer for the Ric Flair biopic that came out yesterday with the Borderlands movie.
Let me ask you this. So I found out yesterday. I actually got to hear the Wardlow promo. So that was a good promo by Wardlow. I wonder where that's been. I don't know if you get a chance to listen to the Wardlow promo. Go listen to it. He does reference CM Punk, like I said. Tony Khan definitely knows how to promote the WWE. But Wardlow did good. The Kingdom's been cold. I mean, mainly because how do you expect to get into him when Adam Cole's on crutches? They've sorely missed MJF. As much as I used to love Orange Cassidy, he's gotten cold. His promos are kind of make it worse at times.
Well, I'll say this to you with the whole Orange casting. How many weeks does he need to be on television? Every single week.
Yeah, and the problem is he thinks that this is the problem with that too, and this you can tell it's the way they do the promos. He thinks it's like a good thing. Like he thinks it's like the impressive thing. Like that's what the fans want. A fighting champion. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna fight every week. I'm gonna be in a match. And the lore, the around him at one time, the Pocket Wrestling, has kind of been exposed. He doesn't do it as much as he do. Now he's become more of a normal wrestler, and him as the normal wrestler doesn't work as much as when he was Orange Cassidy. Beginning, I miss the old Orange Cassidy when there was more of mystery around the guy. They've kind of just overused him. Tony Khan is drinking the Kool-Aid.
There's
and,
no
I don't know.
We were talking about this the other day. There's no long-term booking. You don't get invested. Like, for instance, Tony Khan, we were talking about why they're not selling out arenas. Here's why. One is you're giving us not enough matches. You're giving us maybe one and then saying, okay, this is our marquee match, but you're not giving anything for filler behind it. WWE.
Yeah, he doesn't do no solo matches.
No.
The worst solo match booker.
And he does it at
all the
at the
guys
end.
in tag matches or squash matches. He doesn't want anybody to take losses. He's such a mark. He doesn't want to see these guys lose. Or he doesn't have the balls to tell them they have to lose. Could be that.
This is where I get WWE credit on, is the fact when you watch, like, for instance, they were here locally to me, Anaheim, at the Honda Center, right, where the Ducks play. They were literally, as they were doing the show, they were already telling you next week you're going to have Kofi Kingston versus Imperium, and you're going to have this match, so people can get ready to buy their tickets for the next city. Where AEW is like, oh, 2 days beforehand, here's these matches, and you're like, who? Why? Who the fuck is this person? Who is that person? Where is Miro? Where is this person? Why do you have a jobber guy that I don't know from Tim Buck fucking 2 fighting Wardlow again? Why should I get invested? That's what basically.
Maybe Deonna Purrazzo. So everybody, and this isn't just coming from me. I don't care much about the women's matches, so I wouldn't really comment on them. But the problem is, yesterday they had Deonna Purrazzo go in a match against a jobber, and the match was so bad it was an embarrassing match. Anybody that was watching that would have turned that off. She should have been maybe in a match against one of your other women, your top tier women, if you're trying to make her believable and give her a win. I don't understand.
Somebody's whispering something.
To beat everybody.
James, we talking about?
My bad, hang on.
It wasn't me either.
Whatever.
Somebody was whispering something in the mic.
Whispering.
Yeah, somebody was whispering. That was throwing me off. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Something said, like, this is why I watch TNA. Somebody was saying, this is why I watch TNA. And I was like, what? Okay. I'm happy for you. You watch a product that's possibly going to be dying in the next 6 months. Thanks, Anthem. You had the best thing going called Scott D'Amore, and you fired his ass because he wanted to buy your company.
I'm surprised Orange Cassidy isn't an EVP now. Like, everywhere Tony Khan is, Orange Cassidy is like, he's in England watching the soccer.
Yeah, you hear about that?
They're like best buddies. I'm surprised he's not an EVP.
Well,
the other guy they had with them, Darby.
That's a guy that, has been wasting away.
That report was courtesy of Barkley.
Can I say Darby Allin has been wasting away in AEW to me? Don't get me wrong.
Well, I don't want to say he's wasted away for these reasons. We would have never saw Darby Allin if it wasn't for AEW.
True.
Correct.
WWE would have never took. So it's like us seeing him is like, well, we got to see him. He did some things. To be honest, I do agree with you though, Rev Sauce, because he was doing great by himself. I think teaming him up with Sting kind of slowed it down. It hasn't really gotten him any more over. Like, I think about it, like, do you like Darby more now that he's with Sting? I liked him just as much when he beat Cody or whoever he beat for the TNT Championship a while back. And Tony Khan had to bring, winter is coming. He brought out Sting.
Oh, and Sammy Guevara did get fined for that botch spot, by the way.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I got to jet my Ubers here. Take care.
Take
care, buddy.
See ya. Bye.
Be safe.
So Darby, Sammy Guevara did get fined for that broken nose spot, for that botch. That has been confirmed.
How do you find somebody? Is it wrestling? I didn't see it, but.
And Daniel Bryan supposedly is the guy that's in charge of handing out the fines in AEW.
Well, Jeff Hardy.
I'm with
Go
ahead. Jaywalks about it. It's wrestling. How can you find someone for botching a move? I mean, it happens.
Especially he was backflipping or some shit. But his
Yeah, I
eyes were
agree.
completely. It was
I
completely.
if it was
agree.
intentional.
Daniel
I
Bryan
agree
would
with
be
you on
someone
that
in
one.
charge of doing that.
Well, it came down from Tony Khan. That fine came down from Tony himself, not
Okay.
what's his name? Danielson is basically the social media manager. Like he throws out the fines if you're on social media shitting all over AEW or whatever, fucking wrestler wise.
That's
Or he can determine if you're, I'm like, that's stupid. Oh, and WWE, I guess AEW signed the head writer for WWE senior writer or whatever it was. She's going to be part of the product or whatever team. I hope maybe she can spark maybe long-term booking with Will Washington because so far it's not been good.
NY is hoping that sparks the Mercedes Moné storyline.
I'm gonna take a hot take here on this show, and I'm gonna say this: Monet is not gonna drive sales like that. I'm just gonna tell you like that. She may get some of the diehard fans that like her, but I don't think she's gonna sell arenas out like they. New Japan's different.
I agree. It's like, for instance, WWE was big enough to where she was a star there, but it wasn't like she was the determining factor of the crowd there. You know what I mean? It was like if Sasha was there, yeah, you got people that were excited and they probably, wore merch and all that, but it wasn't like they got a CM Punk type following for Sasha.
I will say this about Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné.
I like Sasha. She's great. She's beautiful.
I like her, but the way WWE had her, she was a Scottie Pippen character. Like a Scottie Pippen in a 5-man roster. She wasn't really the Michael Jordan.
Like they got bored with her when she was getting hot at times, and it was bullshit. Like when she was with Bayley and they were together, they did some good things.
Yes.
And then they just kind of fire extinguished.
They did. They definitely did.
And Ginny from NY might be onto something. It might be, look, I mean, Mercedes Moné is going to probably be as good as the creative is, and a lot of people are saying this. This could be your last chance, Tony. I mean, yeah, you can bring in whoever you want, but if you don't do well with Ospreay and Monet, you're just not going to be trusted again. You're going to be looked at dumb, and you're not going to get any more free agents that are of that caliber.
Well, Tony Khan's bringing in the top 4 right now. Like Jay Walks and myself have been talking about it for a minute. We got Okada coming in.
He's got Okada, the guy.
Camille.
But he don't got the crowd. The crowd's not there.
Well, like the reason is because if you watch, the reason you see that is because, like I said earlier, what I was telling you is where does WWE succeed every week to week selling out arenas? Well, they give you all the matches a week in advance so you can prepare, plan if you want to buy your tickets or not. Where AEW is just like, well, gee willikers, we have a pay-per-view in Timbuktu, and at the last hour and the last minute, we're going to put matches together to put matches. You can't get behind anything. That's what New Japan does. And the thing is that may work for New Japan, but that does not work for, us American audience. You know what I mean? With a lot of casual wrestling fans that watch the product.
It's like we finally get to catch in a match, but Don Callis is going to put him against Will Ospreay. Are we going to get a build? It's like, huh? You don't want Takeshita or Will to lose right now. Why are they being put in a match together? And they're in a part of the same faction. It's like the booking is so easy to criticize. That's the problem with AEW. Everything they do is so easy to talk about, which makes everyone think that people are smashing.
Well, Jay Walks, do you agree with me on this one? Do you feel the same as I do when it comes to AEW and when they're debuting somebody right to the audience and they show nothing about that person and most people, like, I know you and I know who an Okada is, and some of these
vignettes. I can't say it. VIGNETTS, something like that. Vignettes. What are they called?
Vignettes. Yeah, I feel they should show vignettes, of these new wrestlers coming and are showing this guy's prestigious over here. This is what he's done over here. introduce them to the audience. That's what I give fucking WWE credit on at times, where they show off a Jay Cargill, or they'd show off, okay, this person over here has been prestigious over here. Here's why you want to invest in their debut. AEW just like doesn't do that at all. And then they bring him in and it's like, oh, this top tier guy. Let's see.
Yeah.
David Valentine says in comment section, don't be surprised to see Drew McIntyre go to AEW. I highly doubt that at this point. If they throw him the world heavyweight title.
Now, because with Vince being out of the proportion, Punk being injured, and Drew doing his best work ever, I think Drew will be more intrigued to stay. And unless AEW starts filling their arenas, the wrestlers are going to look at that like, do we want to go perform in front of arenas that are 2,000?
That person is supposed to be like 60,000 though.
Yeah, we're talking about AEW.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact their arenas, they're picking the wrong arenas to do things in, man. Like,
we were
seriously.
saying that Drew McIntyre would go to AEW.
Somebody in my comment section that I was bringing up, he said, don't be surprised to see Drew McIntyre go to AEW, and I highly doubt that.
Now, see, going back to what you said earlier about Drew McIntyre, is he going to sign at the Mania? I'm thinking he's already signed.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise, he wouldn't be acting. Because before all this shit, he was like, I don't know if it was the work even back then.
I'll tell you this. If he wins the Elimination Chamber, I think that'll put enough confidence in him where he's like, I could stay.
He got time tacked on because of injuries. Like Sheamus, from what Sheamus earlier. You got time tacked on. That's
what
what
I'm talking about. Sheamus, but I'm like, let me ask this. If Sheamus was to leave the AEW, I mean WWE, like right now, would you care? Would you think about it? Like, would you be like, man, I wish Sheamus came?
And it's like, with Sheamus going to AEW, it'd be like, okay, it would be like, it would make AEW look more like an old WWE company than themselves.
Puncho, I would kind of do the same as I did for Nick Nemeth and TNA. I would mark out at first, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Or Matt Riddle over in New Japan cutting a promo. I'd be like, oh, okay, great, cool. Now show me show me why you left WWE for. You know what I mean?
I pop for Edge, but now look at him. They got him in a fucking minivan and all that shit.
Edge. Adam Copeland, they kayfaved him out with a concerto, and they're giving Daniel Garcia, that hasn't done it. He's not over with the crowd, and you're giving him a TNT belt. I think a triple threat's coming. Right. I think that's ridiculous.
He pinned fucking Christian, and then Christian got it back like 2 minutes later, bro.
Well, Christian's over though. That's the thing. Christian Cage is over with the audience. I mean, do you have him lose the belt?
What did that happen with Cody and Roman? This WrestleMania, with Cody clean pins Roman, and then Roman for some reason just hits him in the back of the head, or fucking Solo hit him in the back of the head, and he pinned him and won the belt back. You think the fans are going to react the same way as Christian?
That's tough. I think crowd would riot even harder if that happened. I think the crowd would riot if they did that at Mania.
I don't know what to think of Edge's booking so far in AEW. It's just the problem is the crowds have been small, and it's not like they seem rowdy enough for like.
Well, Adam Copeland says he's been working with Tony Khan to creative develop all this stuff, and I'm like, so you have been behind. So there's a reason why WWE did not have you be part of creative, Edge. There's a reason now. Now I'm starting to understand you suck at it. That's just the way it is.
Doesn't Daniel Bryan, doesn't he book?
He works with the women's stuff. He works with the women's stuff.
No, he does something with the guys too. He does something with.
I know Daniel took over for Kenny Omega for the women's stuff, and I know
I could see that, but I know he's still.
Dean Malenko did too, because when Kenny went down with diverticulitis, they both took over.
Well, one of the ladies who alleged abuse in WWE is now in AEW. Kelly
it's
Pepperdine.
Probably one of the biggest secrets in AEW is probably a lot of these ideas are the wrestlers and Tony Khan just saying yes. I doubt. I mean, some of this is Tony Khan, but I couldn't imagine Tony Khan always wanting to go with it.
Yeah, it's WCW 2.0. No
Well,
different than
Tony
when
Tony Khan
Hogan
has the
and
three
Bischoff.
biggest bookers, right? The three biggest writers. He's got the senior writer right now, and he's got also the writer for New Japan that helps out. What's his name? He's part of the Best Friends. Who's the guy?
Rocky Romero.
Romero. Thank you. He has him helping writing, and he has the senior writer. He will Washington. How many more people do you need to write for you? You should not have to control everything. These people, you have legendary wrestlers on your roster that can help you write and book for you. Why do you have to have all the control? You can go off and sit pretty and have good storylines written for you. Like, I don't understand that with Tony Khan. Never have.
Just shut the fuck up and sit back and let the, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying so hard to be like Vince McMahon.
Wraith, I was going to ask this question earlier, but it seems more appropriate now. You're talking about there's no long-term booking. Can you see that if there is long-term booking, or if there has been in the past, Tony Khan jumping in saying it's not working, so abandon it in the middle of it, where you have to give it time to develop. He seems like the type of guy that, to me, that if he doesn't see results right away, he wants to change direction. Do you agree with that? Or
I agree with you with that. But here's the thing. When AEW first started, and any one of us could see, he had the long-term booking. Take a look at Cody Dustin. Take a look at some of the Sting stuff they were doing early on. You know, during the pandemic, they had long-term booking. They were giving you storylines every week, and they tied you in hook, line, and sinker. But then they went away from that to now going back to a ranking system. I am kind of impartial to the ranking system because the ranking system, I could say this, it doesn't help for booking, where Tony Khan needs to go back to when they first started, where there was long-term booking and you had those vignettes, you had those storylines, you had people investing. I think Tony Khan is rushing into things because he pigeonholed himself into signing too many pieces of talent. You have Will Ospreay, Okada, you're going to have Swerve Strickland, you're going to have an MJF coming back off of injury at some point. You have Adam Cole coming off injury. You have too much main event talent. And you can give all the belts you want to all these people, but they've pigeonholed themselves. Tony Khan bought too much talent. He should have worked what he had and then brought in a few people here and there slowly. But he didn't. He's rushing to buy all this talent, and long-term booking's kind of starting to rush things. And you're seeing the chinks in the armor, unfortunately. But it took WWE forever and a day to get to where they're at. And Tony Khan's going to take forever and a day. It just obviously shows. And that's why WWE's top number one right now. There's a reason for it. Tony Khan go ahead.
One other quick thing that I noticed. I don't know if you guys saw the amateur video that someone posted in the Facebook Messenger of the Cody. I don't know if it was the Usos. I'm not very good with the names. They were, I think it was the Usos, but someone posted it earlier in the Facebook Messenger. And what I noticed was how
Cesal, how you doing, buddy?
What I noticed was how dead the crowd was. They weren't really reacting to what was going on in the ring. Kind of surprised me. I thought Cody was supposed to be this real over wrestler, and it just didn't seem to draw any reaction from the crowd. I don't. Did anyone see that video?
Must have been happening after the show, so that's why you didn't see that much of a crowd difference.
If you're talking after a show, most of the crowd is dead because what they do is they most of the time with Raw, they're or SmackDown, they're doing superstar show, they're doing main event beforehand. Wrestling fans have been there for like 3 to 4 hours.
Well, I don't know if it was after the show. You guys can go look at it. It was posted today. It just seemed like even if it was after a show.
Yeah, Charlie, we're excited for Elimination Chamber.
I think it said Raw around the ring.
If it was taped, what I'm saying is the crowd reaction is gonna be different than the actual, the TV one, obviously. But it just depends on where it's at. Like there's some where
Yeah, it's gonna be
it
at
was
5
in
my time.
it's gonna
It
be like in Kentucky and shit.
yeah, I mean the place looked packed and it looked like it was Raw. I mean, I think along the ring apron it said Raw, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong.
We're all excited for Elimination Chamber. I know some of us are not getting up at like 5 or 2 a.m. in the morning to watch it. I will be watching it
when
live.
I wake up. I'm gonna put it on after I wake up.
My mom's not gonna let me get up that early. You kidding me?
Do you all okay? So here's a question coming in from David Valentine. Do you all think NWA under Billy Corgan will rise in pro wrestling? They have a new territory under the the NWA banner. I will say this.
About them.
NWA kind of shot themselves in the foot. They were kind of trending up, and then with the cocaine spot, they kind of went like a plane down to the ground. And Billy Corgan,
he should know that kind of stuff. He's a rock superstar, right? I mean, it's doing drugs like that on pay per view. I mean, it's like think about
I'm not. I know
Cobain and those
about
guys and doing drugs and shit like that.
So-
That's ridiculous. It's not a shock value thing. He should know that.
NWA had a bunch of CW execs at their pay-per-view, Pesci, and Billy Corgan decided it would be a good idea to do an old school rock and roll in 2023, 2024. Thought it was a good idea to do a cocaine spot with two basically Playboy bunnies in the front
yeah,
row.
I remember that. I didn't know that's why that.
Yeah, and it didn't go too well. They lost their deal with TV rights deal. They're on the streaming side of CW. The CW CEO was not too happy with that.
He wanted to be included. That's why he wants to put himself.
Probably. So yeah, NWA is kind of they lost a lot of money out of because of that situation too with sponsors and shit. So they're kind of trending down hardcore. You want to see a company that's was on the rise with EC3 and now it's kind of burning in flames at the moment. Same with TNA.
One of these trying to follow Tony Khan's lead. It's that Tony Khan's doing coke and shit all day long. Maybe he's like, oh,
it's not coffee
Tony
that he's
Khan.
drinking.
The Khan Cartel.
There you go. But yeah, we're excited here for Elimination Chamber. Like I think we're all excited for the Elimination Chamber. I don't think Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth, is coming back to WWE, and I think he's gonna stay in TNA. Well, he signed a pretty good deal with TNA and had a nice handshake deal. Same with Top Dollar. Top Dollar just signed, so we'll see. Top Dollar
and Bowen. Top Dollar and Bowen would get along good. They both tell so many stories.
Top Dollar's in TNA.
Yeah, he just signed a contract with them. He was on a handshake deal.
Those handshake deals with Scott D'Amore, though. So what happens now?
I don't know. Let's talk to Anthem because Anthem won't sell until It's like my Anaheim Angels having a deal with Mark Cuban in place to sell the team, and Artie Moreno at the last minute said the money was too. What was it in the papers? He said it was not worth it. $3.8 billion flushed down the drain to Mark Cuban. That was ridiculous. Dolph Ziggler, I could see him back in WWE for a Hall of Fame. I could see that. Dolph Ziggler kind of had a couple title reigns.
Well, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
I can also see Dolph Ziggler in AEW too. I could see it with his brother.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think right now Dolph Ziggler's just doing his tour like he said he was doing and then finishing out the back of his career. You know what I mean? The last of it.
What are they gonna do with Jimmy and Jey Uso?
They could.
I hope they do that at WrestleMania.
No, I'm talking about over there at AEW.
Oh, I don't know.
Nick,
I don't
talking
think
about Dolph and Nick, or what's his name? Eric?
Ryan
Nemeth.
Nick and Ryan Nemeth. They're doing that right now in New Japan.
They said CM Punk got rid of the one Nemeth. I wonder if that was true.
And they need to bring, AEW, speaking of talent that's been wasted, they need to bring, that's new to me. I didn't know Top Dollar went to TNA. I stream everything, and I don't have access to TNA. Well, TNA,
Well,
if
we
you
saw
got,
him at the pay-per-view. So
Hey,
that's
Red
how I
Sauce, real
knew.
quick. I gotta go off camera for a second. I'm taking my dog.
gotcha.
Right back.
Well, here's the thing: you can get Zuz TV. Okay, shout out to Zuz TV. You can get Zuz
Yeah, that's what
TV,
I got.
and you can watch TNA off of it. They have
Oh, I didn't
access
know
TV.
that.
I think they have access TV. I could be wrong.
Hey, motherfucker, they're not sponsoring this show.
Hey, well, shout out to them though. They have a lot of fucking sports television, okay, for a good price.
They're not sponsoring. They ain't sponsoring us.
Hey, I did a shout out to them because they got good sports television. Pesci uses them. A lot of people that are in my audience
I'm kinda
watch Zuz
loving it.
TV.
I
That's
love it
surprising.
much. I get all the games.
I get told this in my comment section. Zuz TV is a brilliant thing. A lot of people I didn't know in my comment section and in the
100
community
a
have it.
year. It's a little bit behind, but not like the others.
So Pesci and I watched a CZW show, and Pesci could tell you straight up, CZW is that hokey pokey shit. It's not great when they're going through fake doors that break. I showed Pesci one time CZW, and he was like, "What is this?"
That was crazy stuff.
That shit, fake doors and fucking, they're going through fake tables that are already breaking. That's not hardcore wrestling. That's something else.
That's some AEW shit.
Let's see. Keep an eye on, to somebody in my comment section. Keep an eye on CZW. They're growing their fan base. If they get a TV, they're going to be the hell of a deal with. CZW is not getting a contract anytime soon. I see them getting bought out by WWE or one of those companies. Honestly.
Well, don't forget, Little Big Brawlers is on Saturday on Max. You can watch it every Saturday on Max.
On the Max app?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the one
Every
that's on
Saturday.
Discovery at the moment? On Discovery, and they have
Right,
like,
but it's not exclusive.
oh,
to
okay.
Discovery. You
Because
can
that's the
watch
one
it
Dev's
on,
the CEO of Warner Discovery's been selling the shit out of over AEW.
But
Little midget wrestling, it's great.
I think they got bought out, Discovery, by Max.
Warner Discovery, they're in talks right now with Paramount. Paramount Global and Zaslav are talking about merging
my bad.
together.
Capital One. They
Bought Discovery?
yeah. Capital One did.
$38 million deal?
35.3 billion.
Billion, thank you.
Acquisition of Discovery Financial is a bid to protect itself against a rising tide of.
I said GCW. You misheard what I said, David. I know it's Game Changer Wrestling, but there's AEW and WWE and TNA, and then there's just like everything else. Like, none of us here watch GCW, and I'm going to say this why. They're hokey
I thought you said
shit.
I thought you said CZW.
No.
That's what I have seen.
My bad
Okay.
if I did. GCW. Nobody really watches it around here because when you watch it, you go, oh, there's a reason why they're where they're at. With fake doors and fucking fake. When a guy goes through a table, right? And he's standing on a table, right? And he goes through it and it doesn't look believable, you're going to go, this is some hokey pokey shit. That's the thing.
Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around.
Like, you can have, what's his name? What's their big guy that came in and fought Chris Jericho with pizza cutters?
Oh,
Yeah.
Gage, yeah, you can have that guy all day long, but you only have one guy. You don't have, like, major talent.
Well, what is that? That was the drug criminal bank robber. What?
Yeah,
Cornette calls
that's what Cornette calls them.
Yeah,
drug addicted bank robber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bank addicted drug
Oh,
robber.
I didn't
One
know
of the two.
Boss Man listens to Cornette.
Oh yeah.
I'm not making fun
Yeah,
of GCW, but I'm just saying, like, if you watch their quality of wrestling, it's like you could tell why they are where they're at. It's not like, oh my God, I have to go watch it. You know, they're like a traveling indie show.
Oh, well, it says like all your Discovery cards are going to be switched over to Capital One. as well.
There you go. Well, it has to get the approvals first and everything.
Well, it's gonna go. It was already approved, but it won't go into effect until 20 or late 24 or early 25.
Welcome back, Thunder.
Yeah, cheers, brother. Boss man, what's happening with Trump? What's the latest?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't tell you, man.
Yeah,
My
sure.
shoes never came in.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, I'll wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for
no
thank
worries.
you for coming by and watching the wrestling stuff. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having
Can
us.
your people hear us? Or
Yes, yes,
no?
they
Yeah,
can.
they're about,
They've been hearing you the whole
Or
entire
Thun-
time.
Thunder.
yeah,
Well,
they're
I
about
don't know.
During the
70
wrestling
viewers or
show,
something.
started
You said
talking
nah, they
about
can't hear you.
Trump.
Mo.
Good job, Thunder.
We were doing a wrestling show, yeah, and they can hear you when they're doing when I'm doing a wrestling show.
Oh, okay.
Most of the
Well,
time,
I
most of the
didn't know.
time, I have my Discord muted because I just let my game and my voice be out there.
Well, like the whole time I was going live, but I couldn't. They could hear me, but I couldn't. They couldn't hear no one else. But then I changed it because I put the output. The output was at nothing, so I switched the output, and then that's when it was happening.
Gotcha. All right, guys, we'll see you. Possibly, are we doing a review for Elimination Chamber? We doing one of those?
If I'm awake.
Yeah.
If he's awake, there you go. So
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed the show. Give us some feedback.
I'll be up around
No
like
worries.
8, 9.
Cheers.
And I'm
Take
gonna put
care.
the